Good morning. I was running a sort of a minute or so behind today just because I couldn't remember a word. I couldn't remember the word acronym. It was very simple. Just so I was sort of like running around trying to explain what an acronym is to Tanya so that she could remind me what the word was. Anyway, we got an acronym. The reason for that was because I wanted to use an acronym this morning. SET, S-E-T. And the reason I want to do that is, last week or so, I have been working on an essay. I'm doing a master's degree in the study of mission, which interesting, exciting. Ask me about it sometime. Love to explain it to you. But as I said, the last week or so I've just been engrossed in doing this essay. It's been really full on. If I haven't been in contact with you and you expected me to be, etc., it's because it's been a little bit, in this essay. And it's made me think about this morning. It made me think about everything that goes on with working towards an essay. And that's the specific essay that I was writing. So, and this is why I get this word, S-E-T, set. Because I wrote this essay, and what I did with that, of course, is I studied it. And I've had to study a lot over the last couple of months, and I've had to study for this essay a bit. And I find study quite interesting. One of the most amazing things I could tell you could study is this. It's probably appearing backwards on the screen, isn't it? The Bible. I find it the most exciting and authentic book in the world. It's amazing, it's living. And when I say authentic, I mean it is so different. I've looked at different people who have wrote about the Bible. I mean, I've got, if you were to see my bookcase here, books and books on the Bible because I really enjoy studying it. And what makes it authentic? It's been taken apart and looked into and studied, and books and books and books have been written about it for 2,000 years, and yet it still stands up. And I think one of the reasons for that is its authenticity. If you took David, for instance, or any of those kings of Israel, if you look at any ancient and Near East writing at that time, it will all say, this king, he was great and he was wonderful and he did all this really good stuff. And yet in the Bible you get, this king, he wasn't very good, and he didn't do very well. Or even like David, it's like, he struggled and he had these failures, and it's not afraid to criticise like the people in it. It's I love the fact that in the book of Mark, right at the end of the book of Mark, it says, when Jesus was arrested, it says one of the disciples was wearing his robe and the guards grabbed him and he ran off naked. I mean, why include that? Why include, right, in the Bible, the fact that Jesus was discovered alive, risen by two women? By women. At a time when a woman's voice was not counted, where two women's voice counted as the same as one man's voice in a court of law. Why would you do it? Because of its authenticity, its truth, because it's not afraid of itself, because you can study it and get so much from it. And I love that. So study the Bible. It's really exciting. I find it incredibly exciting. It's not something to be scared of, it's something to enjoy. Now, my E is, of my SET, is experience. Because the reality is, I talk about the Bible, I study the Bible, I love it, the rest of it, but actually my faith is built on, more than my study, it's built on actually an experience of God. It's an experience of Jesus Christ. I have experienced his love, I've experienced him working in my life, I've experienced his presence. It's experience. And you know, if you've got the greatest mind alive, and you could maybe take this book, and you could tear it apart, and you could say, this isn't true, and blah, blah. You could never convince me. Not because I said, I think this is true, but also because of what I've experienced. The reality is we can all have an experience with God. You want to know how that starts? Great way of starting that, talking to him. Talk to God. Start to experience his presence and his guiding in your life. So yes, study, experience, and then the thing is, right, with my essay I wrote this last week was I got to this point last night, 10:30, when I had to submit it. It's the latest I've ever submitted an essay in my life. It had to be in by midnight. I'm not very happy with it, if I'm completely honest with you. But I had to, at some point, I had to submit it and let it go. I wrote my essay, studied it, lived it, actually, and then I let it go. It's gone. It's done. I had to give something up in that. Now I have to try and empty my head of all sorts of things. But this is the thing, is study is so important, experience is so important, but ultimately it's going to come down to trust. Let it go. Trust it, it's gone. My essay, I've given it. I've got to trust now it's in the right place, and it'll do what it's meant to do. But the reality is, for life, it's going to come down to trust. You know, as I said, I don't think that's a mindless trust. It's based on a truth that I've studied, based on an experience I've felt. I trust Jesus. I trust him with my life. I want to follow him. That's the challenge. It's to give it up. To let go, to actually say, God, I trust you. So, my essay's done. I can take a big breather now. But these are all things we can all do. Study the Bible. Don't be frightened of it. It's wonderful. It's exciting. It's living. Experience relationship with God. Experience. Just speak to him. He's there. He's listening. Trust him. It's the only way into the fullness of life. Only way. God bless. Have a lovely day.